This week we're talking about percentages. Percent is per 100. Cent is the Latin word for 100. So it's like looking at these as a 100th. So 20 out of 100 is equal to 20%. 43 out of 100 is equal to 43%. So here we have all different things that I've found online of sales at the moment. There's no end of sales online at the moment. And you see the likes of 10% off, 50% off, 40% off, 70% off. That means that for the full price of something, it will say here in Nike, a student will get 10 out of 100 out of the full price off, 50 out of 100, 40 out of 100, reduced from the original price, 70 out of 100. So the best value here, the best value in the sale would be this 70% off, 70 out of 100 off. Here's 100 square. And the 100 square could be seen as 100%, 100 squares there. So if I wanted to colour in yellow 27% of this large square, I'd be colouring 27 of those. So here's 27% of the whole 100 square coloured. I didn't have to really count out 27 individual boxes. Well, I coloured 27 individual boxes in, but this is 10, 20 and 7 units. Now if I colour 14% in green, I'll be colouring 1, 2, 3. Here we have 14% coloured in green. 38% in red. So here we see 27% of the 100 square is coloured in yellow, 14% is coloured in green and 38% is coloured in red. So what percentage of the 100 square is not coloured? So we see that we have a full 10 here, and 9 is 19, 20 and 21. 21% of the square of the 100 square is not coloured. So look at this 100 square and write the fraction and percentage of each coloured amount. So there's 100 squares in the 100 square. So let's see green. So in green we have 10 out of 100 coloured. That's 10%. Red we have 30 out of 100 coloured. 30%. Purple, there's 3 out of 100. 3%. Blue, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 out of 100, 50%. Yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 100, 6%. And orange, there's 1 out of 100, 1%. Now, what percentage of it more is coloured blue than yellow? What percentage more is coloured blue than yellow? So there's 50% coloured blue and there's 6% coloured yellow. So what percentage more is coloured? It is 44%. I hope that gives you an understanding of looking at the 100 square there and writing the fractions and percentages. It's really simple to change a hundredth, any kind of a hundredth. So 37 hundredths is equal to 37%. It's quite easy when they're simplified hundredths like that. Now we're going to start converting fractions. So we'll start with an easy one, tenths. So in order to convert a fraction into a percentage, we need to ensure that the fraction is expressed as a hundredth. So 1/10 is the same as 10 hundredths. We know from simplifying them, it's kind of like the opposite way around. So in order to turn 10 into 100, we multiply by 10. We also have to multiply the denominator or the numerator by 10. So 1/10 multiplied by 10 over 10 is equal to 10 ones, 10, 10 tens, 100. 10 hundredths is equal to 10%. So what we're doing is we're multiplying by 10 on the bottom and 10 on the top. 10 over 10. So 10 over 10 is equal to 1. So 8 tenths multiplied by 10 over 10 is equal to 8 tens, 80, over 10 tens, 100 is equal to 80%. 7 tenths multiplied by 10 on the top, 10 on the bottom is equal to 7 multiplied by 10 is 70, 10 multiplied by 10 is 100, 70%. 5 tenths multiplied by 10 over 10 is equal to 50 over 100 is equal to 50%. 3 tenths multiplied by 10 over 10 is equal to 30 over 100 is equal to 30%. And I think understanding that you're multiplying by 10 over 10 will make it quite easy. So if you had 2 tenths is equal to 20%. We'll soon get the hang of that. Okay, looking at these fractions here, we have 3/5, 3/20, 3/25, 3/50, and 4/5. So we need to figure out how to convert these denominators into hundredths. So in order to convert 5 into 100, we're multiplying by 20. 5 20s equal 100. So multiply by 20 over 20 is equal to. So in 20th, how many 20s in 100? There's 5 20s. It's kind of the other way around. 5 over 5. 25th, there's 4 over 4. 50th, there's 2 over 2. Fifths, let's start again, there's 20 over 20. So, just to recap here, to convert a fifth into 100, we multiply by 20. 5 20s is 100. To convert a 20th into a 100th, we multiply by 5. 20 5s is 100. To convert a 25th into 100, we multiply by 4. 25 multiplied by 4 is equal to 100. To convert a 50th into 100, we multiply by 2. 50 multiplied by 2 is equal to 100. And to convert a fifth into 100, we multiply by 20. 5 multiplied by 20. So, 3/5 multiplied by 20 over 20. We'll start with the numerators. 3 20s is equal to 60. 5 20s is equal to 100 is equal to 60%. 60 over 100 is equal to 60%. 3 20ths multiplied by 5 over 5. Multiply the numerators first. 3 5s is equal to 15 over 100 is equal to 15%. 3 25ths multiplied by 4 over 4. Numerator first. 3, 4 is 12 over 100 is equal to 12%. 3 50ths multiplied by 2 over 2. 3 2s equals 6 over 100 is equal to 6%. 4 5ths multiplied by 20 over 20. 4 20s is 80 over 100 is equal to 80%. So what we're doing is nearly like reverse simplification. You know, when we simplify the fractions, it's like we're nearly doing it the other way around. So can you imagine that this was the start point? 60 over 100 is equal to 3/5. So we've matching activity here. Match a percentage from the top row with a fraction from the bottom row. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert all of these fractions first. Convert them into hundredths. Some of them we actually don't need to convert. So 9 over 100 remains the same, 9 hundredths. 1 over 10 is equal to 10 hundredths. A half. So a half multiplied by 50 over 50, because we need to get a denominator of 100, is equal to 50 over 100. So we call that 50 over 100. 2 over 2 is, so 2 over 2. 2 needs to be multiplied by 50 to get 100, so 50 over 50. 100 over 100 equals 100%. Similarly, 3 over 3 is equal to 100%. Or 3 out of 3 if you had a test. 5 out of 5 is equal to 100%. So 1 whole. So 3 over 20. 20 needs to be multiplied by 5 to make it into hundredths. So 3 over 20, 15 over 100. So that's 15 over 100. The next one, 2 over 50. 50 needs to be multiplied by 2 to make it 100. 4 over 100. 1 over 50. 2 over 100. 1 over 50. Multiplied by 2 over 2, because 50 by 2 is 100, is equal to 2 over 100. And the last one, 3/4. So 4 needs to be multiplied by 25 to become 100. So it's 25 over 25. 25 is 75 over 100. So 75 over 100. So knowing that now, let's join the percentages from the top with the fraction on the bottom. So 100% is 100 over 100, 2 over 2. 15%, 15 over 100, or 3/20. 2% joins up to 1/50, 2%. 75% joins up to 3/4, which is 75 over 100. 9% goes to 9/100 over here. 4%, here we are, directly underneath, 4 over 100. And 10% joins over to the 1/10. So we'll have a look at the Planet Maths book there that you have for schoolwork today. So let's look at A, match each decimal with its equivalent percentage. So we're talking about fractions before, now we're talking about decimals. So we'll just convert these into fractions first. I'll try and make that even smaller. So 0.04 is 4 hundredths. 0.5, 50 hundredths. 0.2, 20 hundredths. 0.1, 10 hundredths. 34 hundredths. 95 hundredths. So the decimals, fractions and percentages are all very much interlinked. So 4 hundredths connects to 4%. 50 hundredths, 0.5, 50%. 0.2 is the same as 20 over 100, 20%. 0.1 is the same as 10 over 100, 10%. 0.34, 34 over 100, 34%. And 0.95, 95%. So I hope now you understand that one. We move on to B, circle the equivalent percentage for each decimal. So I spoke about fractions there, but we know that 0.7 is 70 over 100. 70 over 100 is 70%. 0.3 is 30 over 100. Or you could say 0.30. It's easier to have 2 digits after the decimal point here. When you're talking about hundredths, it makes it easier. 30%. It would be quite easy to make that into 3% if you didn't have the 2 digits. 0.97, 97%. 0.875 is 87.5%. 0.06 6 over 100, 6%. 0.6767 over 100, 67%. 1.7, so it's one whole number. 1.70, you could even call it 1 and 70 100ths. It's 1.7%. And 0.125 is 12.5%. I hope that makes sense now. I've included these ones here for you to do on Seesaw. 30%, colour the correct percentage of each 100 square, so you should be able to choose a colour in Seesaw and colour 30% of that. So it would be, you could do it quickly and do 3/10 easily like that. 64% would be 6/10, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 4. I think that should be simple enough for you to do yourselves now.